So the point of the Kayakcast was originally to answer some business questions, because a while ago I asked people for questions about starting a business, and this is partly because next week I'm running a free 5-day business startup challenge. Bit of sound in the background, so it's not as bad as last time. That's good. To help people start a business. And so I asked people for their questions to kind of prep me, and I've been answering some of them, including in a kayak. And one of the questions that came up a few times from people, there was someone called Carol, there was a guy called Edgar, and there was at least one or two other people who were asking, how do you promote something without posting to social media every day? So there's a few parts to my answer on this. And first of all, you can get a business off the ground without posting to social media, but it is very helpful if you're willing to do the social media thing. So I'm rotating again. Powerless to control it in the wind. Now, if you want to get something off the ground without relying on social media completely, then what you can do is, first of all, who you partner with matters. So you can partner with somebody who's got a big reach already, and you work with them, or you provide something for them that gets you off the ground quickly. And that's actually quite a smart strategy anyway for anybody to pursue. So think about what you're creating, what your business is, and think about who the people are who most benefit from it. And then think, whatever services do they use, whatever websites do they look at, whatever magazines they read, and maybe go and see if you can get, press is one of those forms of partnership to get you more publicity, but also maybe somebody who's more established in your field but does something complementary that's not competitive. And then you can work with them to provide something you do for their audience that's really valuable, and their audience gets to find out about you, and that helps to promote you. So you can get started without social media to a certain extent. But ultimately, I think the reason why people ask these questions about how do I get started without posting to social media every day is because if you were posting to social media every day and it was working, you probably wouldn't mind. Chances are it's not working. But the other thing is, I think people think that posting to social media has to be very well thought out and very, you have to create perfect content like the old days of blogging. So you'd have to create this perfectly composed thought piece and put it out as a blog post, or you have to create a work of art and share that with people. But actually you don't. People are as interested in your process as they are in your output, and they're interested in the thinking, the work behind the work, as they are about anything else. So what you can do is take advantage of that and post details of that. So you can share how you're building the thing that you're building. To give an example of this, Edgar asked this question where he said, I'm 73 years old, I've got all this artwork, I've got the frames, it's all ready to go, but I have no idea about marketing, no idea about social media, so what do I do? So here's an interesting idea that would help Edgar out. If Edgar went to some sort of online marketing guru and said, I'm 73 years old, I've got no idea about marketing, can you teach me online marketing and in the process help me sell some of my art? And then what you do is you document the entire process. So there are plenty of internet marketing gurus who are desperate for content, desperate to find something interesting to put online. And imagine that they took Edgar through step by step as a 73-year-old, the very latest ideas in internet marketing, and taught him. I think it would be really interesting, and I think it would be quite entertaining to see somebody who's a complete novice, who's from a different generation, trying to work out how to market their artworks or market anything. And that's an example of Gary Vaynerchuk, who talks a lot about social media. I do think he's very sensible in a large part, even though not everybody clicks with his kind of delivery style. He says, document, don't create. So instead of thinking you need to create this fantastic content, you can document what you're doing and show people this is how I'm building it. And people find that really interesting. So what you can do is if you choose a social network, which this is the other thing, a point I forgot I was going to make. think about, like, also, if you really don't want to be on social media posting, why is that? Because are you using it yourself? If you are using a social network yourself and you're reading it every day anyway, why would you not post? And it's probably because there's some resistance there about being seen and thinking that you have to create this fantastic content. So when you get those things, if you're going to address those things, those might be the real problem, rather than you not wanting to be on social media at all. Now, if you're a hermit and you've sworn off all social media and you don't use anything, that's a different issue. But I think most of us are probably using one. You're probably on Instagram, you're probably on LinkedIn, you're probably using something, or Facebook, or something at the moment. So those are my thoughts. I think if you can get into the habit of choosing one network where the people who you want to sell to are going to be, but also you find fairly easy because you use it yourself, and you post every single day, at least once a day, that will actually start to get you results after a while. At the beginning it might look like you're not, but if you start doing it, and if you go out there with the intention of helping people and doing something useful and being interesting or entertaining or informative or whatever it might be, you do actually get traction in the end, but you need a little bit of patience. So that is my tip today for social media. On Monday, we have several hundred people registered for our 5-day business startup challenge, and I'm sure we're going to get quite a few more before we start at Monday morning. And what we're going to do over 5 days is help people find the right idea to launch, put it out into the world, and define it, test it, perhaps even make their first sale, which has happened before in these little 5-day experiences that I've run before. So if you're interested in starting your own business, or if you've got a business or work for yourself in some form, but you want to launch something distinct, maybe an online course or some sort of group or an event or a consultancy package, then come along to, where you need to go is theideaslab.org and click on the 5-day challenge banner and register by the end of Sunday night, by the end of tomorrow night. So I'm now going to paddle back. I've been told rowing is not the word for kayaking. I'm going to go and paddle back to my place because I have some Zoom drinks tonight. Last time I came out for a gentle little paddle like this, I destroyed myself. I got home and found I was too tired to actually pick up my cup of tea. And the next day was completely totaled. So I'm hoping that even though I've gone a little bit further this time, that's not going to happen again. Maybe I'll be a zombie tomorrow again. I hope not. But so kayaking is a weird form of exercise. It's doesn't feel like you really do much at the time. And then, like I say, you get back and you realise you've used a whole bunch of muscles that you don't normally use. So we'll find out if I can actually still function. Let me show you the view. I've seen some great wildlife on this little trip. Lots of coots, which look like moorhens, but they've got white beaks rather than orange beaks. Lots of coots having little babies, whatever little coots are called, cootlets. And then somewhere at the other end, but quite some distance from here, there are some swans nesting. So there are going to be some cygnets soon, which I always think is rather exciting, because I just think swans are most incredible creatures. They look like a sort of artwork created by an amazing artist to me. These incredible white feathers, even though they're sitting in a rather filthy canal. And then they create these cute little fluffy grey cygnets. So that'll be coming along soon. So I'm going to go and paddle back. I did actually get myself a little neck holder for my phone. I didn't bring it out today because it's actually not very comfortable. And it tends to hold holds the camera really close to my face. When I'm actually talking into the camera, it's a little bit disturbing. I'm not sure it's the solution I was hoping for. Anyway, thanks for joining us, a few people who turned up. And if you're interested in the 5-day business startup challenge, go to theideaslab.org and click on the banner at the top there. And I will do another Kayakcast in a week or two. If there's a question you want me to answer about starting a business or kayaking, let me know.